Kia ora, some wetter weather making its way up the Southland as we head through the rest of today for Tuesday. And as we head in towards Wednesday, it's the central areas of the country we'll be keeping a very close eye on, especially for that second half of the day. As we head through the rest of Tuesday, you can see as a band of rainfall moves northwards through Fiordland and Southland, and some of that rainfall making its way in towards parts of Southland and Otago as well. For the North Island, generally it's a fine looking afternoon. Plenty of clear sky from, say, Auckland right the way down towards Palmerston North, a touch more cloud around that eastern coast, but a lot of dry weather for the North Island. It's down south we've got this wet weather, and that wet weather continues to move northwards as we head through the night time. Some heavy falls very possible in parts of Southland and Fiordland, but you can see it's slowly starting to pull away from Fiordland as we head through the night time. But there are some severe weather watches for that band of rainfall. For places like Fiordland, it's through to about 10 p.m. today, 10 p.m. on Tuesday. And then for those areas of Western, those ranges in the far southern areas, it's from 5 p.m. on Tuesday through to the early hours of Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. on Wednesday. As we head in towards tomorrow for Wednesday, we are going to find a bit of a cool start across some of those more inland parts of the North Island. More cloud and wind down south, and mean temperatures aren't as cool down there, but still a rather chilly old start today for places like Waikato as we wake up first thing on the 1st of May. Wednesday is looking like a fairly unsettled day, with this rain continuing to move northwards, reaching up on towards the North Island as we head in towards the afternoon. A fair bit of cloud thrown ahead of that as well. It's this area around the central part of the country which is set to find some rather windy and wet weather by the end of the day. Low pressure forming just off this eastern coast will feed a fair bit of cloud and wet weather in towards parts of northern Canterbury, in towards Marlborough, particularly the Kaikoura coast. And with that cold air undercutting it, we could well find some snowfall down around about 900 metres or about 1,000 metres as we head through the end of the day on Wednesday. Low enough to be impactful to some of those higher passes, people like the Arthur's Pass and Porter's Pass, so well worth keeping a close eye on that. And some windy conditions in towards places like Taranaki, the chance of some thunderstorms as well, and some stronger southerly winds around that Kaikoura coast as well. So there are some severe weather watches for the second part of this rainfall event, and that's really as we head towards the end of the day on Wednesday, right the way through in towards the early hours of Thursday. For those areas north of, say, Amberley and Canterbury, right the way up towards the Kaikoura coast. So a bit of a wet one through there. And also that ribbon of stronger winds right on the coast of Marlborough, around that Kaikoura coast. Those winds could reach severe gale for a time as we head through the nighttime Wednesday into Thursday. As we head in towards the North Island, though, we are going to find, for many of us, it starts off dry and fine. For places like the Coromandel, across towards the Bay of Plenty, and down in towards Wellington as well. Plenty of clear sky there to start the day. It turns cloudier as we head through the afternoon. You can see this front brings in a fair bit of cloud from, say, Northland right the way down towards Wellington. And the afternoon of Wellington is looking like a wet and a windy one. But that rainfall runs across, say, Auckland in the end of the afternoon into the evening before it starts to clear away. But you'll notice down towards Taranaki, we keep hold of a fair number of showers, even in towards the evening time. Some of those could be fairly heavy, perhaps even with the odd rumble of thunder, and accompanied by some pretty blustery westerly winds as well. So it's still worth keeping a close eye on the forecast through there. And I think for Wellington, with that low pressure down towards the south and the east of us, we'll find a fair bit of cloud and wet weather with us then through the end of the day, or through the afternoon, and in towards the night time as well. So a bit of a wetter end today in Wellington. Now, in terms of temperatures, we start off pretty cold, especially through those central parts of the North Island. Before we'll find our temperatures, though, reaching highs about 19 or 20 degrees Celsius in Auckland, 21 or so in the place like Hawke's Bay, and a little bit cooler, though, down towards Wellington, 16 or so, but not as cold as we head through the night time Wednesday into Thursday, as we'll see from Tuesday night into towards Wednesday morning. Now for the South Island, we start off with that heavy rainfall on that western coast and towards the ranges there. That front moves northward. You can see it pushes in towards Buller and Grey as we head through the morning time. A fair bit of cloud and showery weather runs in towards Canterbury. That starts to pull away from those southern areas. We start to find a bit of clearance as we head through the afternoon there. But you can see that rain continues to push in towards particularly those northern areas of Canterbury and up in towards Kaikoura as we head through the end of the day on Wednesday. Remember, we've got that severe weather watch out for rainfall in this region, these northern parts of Canterbury in towards Kaikoura, and with that cold air undercutting that moisture as well, we will find some snowfall about the higher parts of Nelson Lakes, the Kaikoura Ranges, and like I say, particularly some of those higher passes as well. There are road snowfall warnings for Wednesday evening in towards Thursday morning for places like Arthur's Pass, Porter's Pass, Lewis Pass. So do keep a close eye on those road conditions and have that in mind if you plan to do any of those higher pass crossings, particularly later in the day on Wednesday or for the very first part of the day on Thursday. You can see down south, some clearer skies back around that western coast and down towards Otago. A cold night in store for you. A bit more cloud and some showers, though, still lingering in the far south through the end of the day. Temperature-wise, unsurprisingly, it's a chilly old day. High temperatures in Christchurch are near 13 degrees Celsius, whilst we head down towards places like Invercargill, 11 or so. And our nighttime temperatures back to around about 1s and 2s in many spots, -2 there, you can see, for Mount Cook. So once we get that clearer sky back with us, it will be a cold night across the South Island into those early hours of Thursday morning. So here we are as we head into Thursday though. But the good news is things are set to dry up. This low pressure pulls away out towards the east. It still leaves most of New Zealand in this southwesterly feed of air. And that's going to carry on bringing some showers around the likes of Fiordland and the far southern parts of the South Island. But you can see the story for Thursday is generally one of more settled weather. The rainfall and the winds ease off around those central parts, and for most of the North Island it's back to some drier conditions. Still areas of cloud to watch out for, and I think Friday is a fairly similar story. We'll still have these areas of cloud, perhaps a few pockets of mist or fog first thing as well. If we're going to find any showers, they're likely to be down in those far southern areas, but even here they should become much more isolated through Friday as well. And that's it from me. This is Ron at metservice.com.